Hello, fourth grade. It's Mrs. Stallwick again, and we are here to do your lesson 4 on respecting similarities and differences. So let's review the lesson from last week. Last week we talked about being assertive. This week you'll learn about respecting similarities and differences. Today we're going to start with a game using the walk, walk, walk video. Try listening for attention for the names of different feelings mentioned in the song: anger, embarrassed, jealous, scared.
I bet you've had strong feelings coming from within. Hard to see another's point of view when you're in your own skin. Changing your perspective. Thinking through your stuff. Empathy's not easy when the going gets rough. You know that it may be hard to think it through. Other people feeling different because they're not you. You gotta walk, walk, walk. Walk in their shoes. Take a look and see what they're seeing. Walk, walk, walk. Walk in their shoes. Try to understand what it would feel like to be them. You gotta walk, walk, walk. Walk in their shoes. Empathy is what we're saying. Recognize those feelings. You felt them too. That's empathy. You see, she's getting angry. You felt that feeling too. Embarrassed, jealous, scared, strong emotions through and through. Empathy's the pathway to recognize and walk, so you can dish out some compassion and really walk the talk. People showing strong feelings, what do? Show them that you get it. Treat them with kindness through and through. You gotta walk, walk, walk. Walk in their shoes. Take a look, see what they're seeing. Walk, walk, walk. Walk in their shoes. Try to understand what it would feel like to be them. You gotta walk, walk, walk. Walk in their shoes. Empathy is what we're saying. Recognize those feelings and reach out to. Yeah, empathy. Empathy. Yeah, empathy.
Now, let's review some of the skills we've learned so far. Being assertive means that you face the person you're talking to, keep your head up and shoulders back, use a calm, firm voice, and also use respectful words. Let's review some of the skills we've learned all together. Empathy is a feeling of or understanding of what someone else is feeling. Look at her face and body for clues. What is his point of view? How does she feel? How can I help? What is the kind thing to say? Compassion is empathy in action. Now let's watch a new video to review class rules. Okay, now let's play a brain builder. Let's guess the movie. I want you to move your mouth or write them down so I know that you're listening. Okay, and that was fun. And if you would like to do more of that, you can do that on your own. Okay, so now let's discuss this first picture. So take a minute to really look at the faces of these two students. They're both waiting to do the same thing. What do you think Gabriella is feeling? She might be feeling, based on her smile, she might be feeling excited or happy, maybe even interested in what that is. We can tell how she's feeling because when we look at her face, we can see that she's smiling with her mouth open, her eyes are open, and her forehead is unwrinkled. How do you think Yoshi is feeling? Yoshi might be feeling fearful, scared, or even frightened. His eyebrows are raised high, his mouth isn't smiling, and his eyes are wide. Think for a moment and try to guess what Gabriella and Yoshi are waiting for that makes them feel such different feelings. So sometimes we can have two different feelings about the same thing, like maybe going to school. Maybe some people are very excited to go to school, and maybe that makes some people nervous. So going to school can be one of those situations that for some people is exciting, and for other people it can be scary. So this is an example of how two people can have different feelings about the same thing. You need to be able to recognize how others are feeling. Even if it's different from how we feel, we have to have empathy. So even if you might be excited, when you think about how your friend might be feeling, that shows empathy. So I'm excited to go try something new, but maybe Yoshi is more scared, and that's okay. So empathy means feeling or understanding what someone else is feeling. Having empathy helps you act respectfully and in a caring way towards others. Today you'll be talking about noticing and understanding others' feelings. You just noticed how Gabriella and Yoshi have different feelings about the same thing. It's also possible for two very different people to have similar feelings about the same thing. As you watch the next video, look for differences and similarities between the two students. Oh, really quick. So what they were looking at is they were looking at the roller coaster. So she really enjoys a roller coaster, but Yoshi might be afraid of roller coasters. It's just like the example about school. So now we're going to go ahead and watch our video. Okay, so let's start our video.
I'm starting school tomorrow. I'm going to be in Mr. Ames' class, but all of my friends will be in Miss Tracy's. I'm starting 4th grade at a new school tomorrow. I'm going to have to make new friends. I'm going to have to make new friends. I'm feeling pretty nervous. I'm kind of shy. I'm feeling pretty excited. I like making new friends. I hope I find some new friends who like some of the same things I do. I hope I'll find some friends who are like me.
So what are some things that we know about Enrique? We know that he's a new kid, right? And that he's excited to make new friends. What are some things we know about Maya? She is not new, but this year she's going to be in a class away from her friends, and that makes her nervous. Now look at the differences between Enrique and Mia. She's a girl and he's a boy. Those are two differences. They like different kinds of foods. She said she's a little shy, and he said he's outgoing. She likes sports, and he likes to play music. Those are some of the differences. Now let's look for similarities. They both are starting school, and they both want to make new friends, and they both like to read. Those are all similarities. You can see that even though Enrique and Mia are different in a lot of ways, they still have some similarities. Sometimes we decide we are different from other people only by how they look. Here you learned more about Mia and Enrique than just how they look. You found out what they like to do and how they feel. Knowing those things helped you find many ways they were similar. It helped you to get to know them. Think about how you can find out more about other people. Things you can't just tell by how they look. So you can't always tell if someone's friendly by the way they look. Sometimes maybe by if they're smiling or not, that might give it away, but just based on only their looks, that doesn't necessarily tell if you're friendly or not. Maybe you have to ask them things that they like. You can invite them to play at recess. Notice if they like the same things you do, or if they do the same things at free time. Maybe they also like to color. Or you can sit with them at lunch and find if you have same food similarities. But sometimes it doesn't necessarily, matter everything. If we can find some things that we alike, then that's okay. When we take time to get to know each other, we often find that we have similar feelings about things, just like Mia and Enrique do. How does it make you feel to know that others have felt the same way you do? So let's try this activity. On your own, choose a word from the list below or come up with one that describes how you might feel in each scenario. When everyone in your group has finished, compare feelings. So we can't really compare feelings, but maybe you can talk to your friends about it alone. And then notice some similarities and differences. You could also do this activity at home with your family. So, Going to a new place, how does that make you feel? Does it make you feel worried, unsure, frustrated, happy, scared? Going into trying something new. How about going on vacation? Is vacation fun or stressful, exciting, nervous? Think about how you feel when you go on vacation. What about going to a birthday party? How do you feel when you go to a birthday party? Are you excited, joyful, silly, frightened, jealous, unsure? What if you're joining a new sports team or group? Like maybe you're joining a new soccer team or a new dance team, or you're starting guitar lessons. How does that make you feel to go and have to meet a new coach or new teammates or new teacher or something like that? So today you explored similarities and differences in people's feelings. What are some ways we notice how each other feels? We can look at each other's body expressions, body language, or just knowing the situation. So if we know that some situations are more stressful, like maybe going to the doctor, that's a good one. So how do you feel when you go to the doctor? Does it not bother you? Or maybe you get really worried about it, going to the dentist, doing things like that. So knowing that other people have similar feelings to you helps you to have empathy and to find that we are similar. But then sometimes maybe someone's not afraid of the dentist, and that's okay too. Being able to notice and then understand others' feelings, including feelings that are the same or different from yours, is an important part of empathy. Think of a time during the day when it might be important to recognize and understand the other person's feelings. So this is another activity you can do together. If you were playing and if you were in a play and you forgot your lines, so maybe you were acting something out, how would you feel if you were acting and you forgot your lines? How do you feel when you had to give a report in class? So maybe you're giving a presentation. How does that make you feel to stand in front of the class? You had to go to an event with your family and you didn't know anybody. Maybe you're going to like a cousin's birthday or a quinceañera or a wedding, and there might be people you know, but then there's also people you don't. Maybe it's for your parents where they know people, but you don't really know people. How does it make you feel when you're asked to hold someone's pet snake? Is that something you want to do? How do you feel if your best friend gets sick and couldn't come over to play with you? How do you feel when you studied your spelling words, but you still missed a lot on your test? What about if your friend accuses you of taking her pencil? How does that make you feel? And your friend got a new video game that you've been wanting. How do all these scenarios make you feel? You can think about these scenarios and then write them down. You can do this with your family and you can compare each other's responses. Let's watch this Brain Pop Junior video on empathy and take the quiz.
No, Moby, this isn't a gift for you. I made it for Tasha. She's feeling sad right now. So I wanted to show empathy and help cheer her up. Empathy is understanding the feelings of another person. Being aware of your own feelings can help you understand other people's feelings. Good question, Moby. How can you be aware of your own feelings? When you're going through a strong emotion or feeling, think about how your body acts. Well, when I'm happy or excited, I smile and laugh. Sometimes I even bounce a little or do a dance. When I'm angry, my face turns red and I talk louder and faster. I make fists with my hands. When I'm sad, I cry and my chest feels heavy. I just want to be left alone for a little while. Since I know how I show different emotions, I can recognize the signs in other people. I can look at someone's face and body and think about the problem they might be facing. I can understand how they feel because I've felt the same way too. That's empathy. When you notice someone who is hurt, sad, or just having a hard time, imagine switching places with them. How would you feel? What can you say or do to show that you understand and care about their feelings? Think about what makes you feel better when you're upset. Maybe you can do or say the same things to help someone feel better. How can you show empathy? One way to show empathy is to be a good listener. When you see someone going through a strong emotion, you can ask if they'd like to talk about it. If they share, pay attention and listen carefully. Look into their eyes. Nod your head when you agree. And don't interrupt. When it's your turn to talk, focus on them and say kind and encouraging things. Think about what people have said to make you feel better in the past and share them. Sometimes people might not feel like talking, and that's okay. You can show support just by being there and being a good friend. Tell them that you'll listen whenever they're ready. Compassion is kindness, caring, and wanting to help someone in need. Empathy is about understanding how someone feels, and compassion is about helping them feel better. When you see someone going through strong emotions, think about how you can help. Be a good friend by showing compassion. Do something to help them feel better, like giving a compliment or kind words. Compliments can be encouraging and help people feel better. If you see someone feeling frustrated with a problem, you can offer your thoughts and work together to solve it. If you see someone feeling lonely and left out, you can invite them to do something fun. Tasha is feeling sad, so I made her a little gift to help cheer her up. We all know what it's like to feel sad, angry, lonely, or hurt. So we should show empathy and compassion for people who are going through uncomfortable feelings. Think about what would make you feel better if you were them. Try to put yourself in their shoes. No, Moby, you don't actually wear their shoes. Wait, are those my shoes?
Okay, we're actually going to skip the quiz because we're almost out of time for today. Today you explored similarities and differences in people's feelings. There are some ways to notice how others feel. We can look at bodies, facial expressions, body language, or just the situation. We can ask questions or get to know people better. Being able to notice and then understand others' feelings, including feelings that are the same or different from yours, is an important part of empathy. How can having empathy help you here at school? And then think of a time during your day when it might be important to recognize those feelings. If you're looking for a book to talk more about empathy, Hey Little Ant is a great book to read, and I encourage you to take the time and listen to this book, Hey Little Ant. This is an exercise you can do at home. You, an adult can do this. You can write your answers here, and the adult can answer their questions there, and then you can mark if the feelings are the same or not. So this is an activity that you can do at home with your family. I hope you had a great time today. I know I did, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye, guys.